Today, I want to discuss a significant development that could have far reaching implications for the entire financial system. I'm referring to the AMC squeeze, a phenomenon that has captured the attention of many investors and experts. The repercussions of this squeeze could be so severe that it might even prompt the Federal Reserve to consider moving away from the dollar and adopting a new central bank digital currency, CBDC. In this discussion, I aim to provide evidence supporting this idea, delve into the reasons behind the fear surrounding the squeeze, and explain how it could potentially disrupt the existing financial system. So let's dive into the details and explore the potential impact of the AMC squeeze. Hey, welcome to AMC Daily. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads, and also enter our giveaway. But everyone remember, this is not a financial advice video. Let's begin with a tweet from a user named Frank. Frank raises an important point that has remained consistent throughout the entire AMC journey. He argues that if AMC stock were truly as bad of an investment as some claim, there wouldn't be such an intense effort to pressure investors into selling. This raises doubts about the narrative that AMC is worthless. Frank points out that every seller needs a buyer for each transaction, and if the short sellers had genuinely closed their positions during January and June of 2021, their incentive would be to encourage investors to hold the stock until it reached zero, maximizing their profits. However, the fact that they are obsessed with convincing people to sell suggests that AMC stock holds significant value. Frank draws a parallel between the current situation and the 2007 to 2008 housing crisis, where investors were not pressured to rethink their investments in housing. In contrast, AMC shareholders faced daily pressure to sell their shares. This stark contrast is further exemplified by the mainstream media's extensive coverage of stocks like AMC and GameStop, compared to their lack of attention towards clearly fraudulent stocks such as Nikola or Bird. Speaking of Bird, let's take a look at another tweet, this time from a user named Trace. Trace highlights the dramatic decline in Bird's market capitalization, which plummeted from $2.8 billion to a mere $25 million, despite raising an additional $700 million in venture capital. This serves as an example of what Trace calls planned theft, facilitated by Wall Street and aided by the media. It's puzzling to see the media advocating for investments in potentially fraudulent companies like Bird, while discouraging investments in stocks like AMC that present a remarkable opportunity for a squeeze. This disparity in coverage raises questions about the motivations behind these recommendations. Charles Payne, a notable figure in the financial world, adds his perspective to the discussion. He emphasizes the media's role in encouraging investors to buy into potentially fraudulent companies while selling their positions in stocks like AMC, which he considers an opportunity of a lifetime. According to Payne, this pattern suggests a deliberate attempt by the mainstream media and Wall Street to persuade investors to make counterproductive choices, directly opposing what could be financially advantageous decisions. This raises a crucial question. Why would influential entities try to divert investors' attention away from lucrative opportunities like the AMC squeeze? To answer this question, we need to consider the larger picture. As explained in a video, there is a belief that we are approaching the end of the current financial system, which includes the US dollar as the dominant currency. The impending transition to CBDCs seems to be on the horizon, and this knowledge is driving the actions of major banks. They are maximizing US debt, attempting to extract as much value as possible from the current financial system before it undergoes a reset. This reset involves transitioning to CBDCs, a new form of digital currency controlled by central banks. In times of financial distress, a common strategy is to accumulate as much debt as possible, knowing that it won't be repaid. This principle holds true for those who understand currency life cycles, such as central bankers. They are well aware of the approaching end of the current system, as evidenced by their loss of control over inflation rates. Interest rates, which are typically used to regulate inflation, have become ineffective. The rapid and high inflation experienced worldwide is a symptom of this loss of control, indicating that the system is reaching its limits. However, it is essential to consider the motives behind these actions. The theory suggests that central banks and influential financial institutions have no intention of prolonging the current system indefinitely. Instead, their primary objective is to sustain it long enough to establish and control the new financial system that will emerge after the reset. This ensures that they retain their power and influence throughout the transition. While this theory is concerning, it aligns with the actions of the Federal Reserve, which is utilizing the remaining dollars to maximize debt and spending before the imminent reset to a CBDC system. So, what could potentially trigger the collapse of the current financial system? One possibility lies in the revival of what are known as zombie stocks. These are companies that have faced bankruptcy or experienced trading halts but re-emerge in the market. Jackie raises this intriguing point, highlighting that short sellers do not typically close their positions when betting on bankruptcy. If a bankrupt company were to survive and return to the market, it would be an unprecedented event. This occurrence could have significant implications for the financial system, potentially leading to its collapse. Another factor that could contribute to the system's collapse is the cost implications for short hedge funds holding synthetic shorts. A tweet from Matt brings attention to this aspect. In the case of AMC, for every 7.5 shares held after the conversion and reverse split, an additional share will be issued as a settlement. This requirement places a substantial financial burden on short hedge funds, forcing them to provide additional AMC shares for every 7.5 synthetics held. The costs involved could amount to billions or even tens of billions of dollars, depending on the number of synthetics in circulation. Meeting these obligations would be an enormous challenge for short sellers, potentially burying them even deeper in their synthetic short positions. The repercussions of this situation could be severe, leading to chaos in the market and a failure to fulfill settlements for millions of AMC shareholders. The most concerning outcome is that this could trigger the collapse of the current financial system before the new CBDC system is implemented. In support of this perspective, Frank shares failed to deliver FTD data for the first half of June. The data indicates a significant resurgence in AMC FTDs after a temporary decline in previous weeks. It is projected that the number of FTDs could surpass 18 million in a single day, potentially reaching as high as 24 million within the next 2 to 4 weeks. Furthermore, when comparing the total number of FTDs in 2021, 2022, and the first half of 2023, it becomes evident that the FTDs in 2023 have already exceeded the combined total of the previous 2 years. This suggests that AMC's presence on the threshold securities list is becoming more entrenched. The shorts, market makers, and regulators seem to be at a loss for effective strategies to address the AMC situation, as evidenced by the continued prevalence of FTDs. It wouldn't be surprising if AMC remains on the threshold list for an extended period due to the inability of relevant stakeholders to adequately tackle the challenges it presents. In conclusion, the AMC squeeze has the potential to create profound repercussions for the financial system as a whole. It could lead to a shift away from the US dollar and towards the adoption of CBDCs. The evidence presented, including market manipulation, fraudulent practices, and deliberate actions by influential entities, suggests that the current financial system is on the verge of collapse. Factors such as the revival of bankrupt companies, the costs associated with synthetic shorts, and the resurgence of failed-to-deliver data all contribute to the possibility of a system collapse. As investors, it is crucial to stay informed and make decisions based on careful analysis. The situation is complex, and the outcomes are uncertain. Therefore, it is prudent to exercise caution and consider various perspectives when navigating the intricacies of the financial markets. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about AMC stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.